Hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for being here today to honor Carolyn Pierce, my daughter. She was quite a special girl and loved by many.
I got to the airport and
So thank you again. It means the world to have all of you here. And please mill around. You don't have to stay seated while any of Carolyn's celebration of life is happening. Help yourself food and just relax, and let's get into some Carolyn vibes here. So Carolyn and I share a love of music together, and I would like to play a song that has two parts to it. And I'm going to sing the first half, and the second half, I believe, let's just imagine that it's Carolyn singing from on high to us. You'll understand when you hear the entire song. So without further ado, just give me a moment to locate that song.
now, ideally, we'd like people to come up and tell stories about times that they spent with Carolyn today, and while she's looking at getting the song ready, I'll tell a quick story. The first time I met Carolyn, I just started seeing Carol, and I went to meet her at a bar near home to she was going to sing karaoke, and I was sitting there waiting for her, and I see this girl walk by, and I thought, geez, she looks kind of familiar, but couldn't quite place her. And I started walking by again, and then Carol came in and sat down, and then Carolyn came up and sat at the table with us and said, "So what are your intentions toward my mother?" That's all I remember after that. I was in the hot seat for a little while.
I think Chris did the same thing.
He was
Yes.
there.
Poor Bob, he was broke, but he survived.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Turn.
Tell me what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth feels like everything is the same. And here on everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you wish the sky. And I hope you see it in the angel's side. And I hope you can know that I've been so nice in heaven since you arrived. So tell me what do you do up in heaven? All your days feel love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is the same. this relation, and we're all good, and it's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you can see in the sky, and I hope you sing it in the angels' choir, and I hope you can know they have. I'll bet it's so nice in heaven since you arrived. I hope you can see the sky, and I hope you stay in the angels' choir, and I hope you can know everything. I'll bet it's so nice in heaven since you arrived. Since you arrived. Part two, Carolyn. Here I am, looking down on you from heaven. It's so peaceful, it's so free, like you pray. It is warm, it's so bright and so beautiful. All my fears and my pain have gone away. Here in heaven, all is so. But I know it's someday. But now please go and spread your wings and seize the day. I'm okay, 'cause I'm there in the sky. Each day I'm singing in the angels' choir. I hope that you go and live your life. Never give up. One day we will reunite. The sun shines so bright here in heaven. I'm at peace. I'm happy and free. And someday we will walk these paths together. But first we must go and see the world for me. 'Cause here in heaven, oh, I miss you so. But I know we'll meet someday. But now please go and spread your wings and seize the day. I'm okay, 'cause I'm there, sitting in the sky. Each day I'm singing in the angels' choir. I hope that you go and live your life. Never give up. One day we will reunite. Oh, I'm okay, 'cause I'm there, sitting in the sky, and each day I'm singing in And I hope that you go and live your life. Never give up on every
I would like to play one more song for you. It's supposed to be the most beautiful version of Hallelujah, because that's what it said on YouTube. So listen.
see complicated peace. You don't really care for me. Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major leagues. The baffled kid composing Hallelujah. Your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, how beauty and the moonlight. Oh, tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne as she cut your hair. And from your lips she drew all I am. Proud to shoot somebody who hallelujah. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not the world. The sea
So we'd be more than happy if other people would like to come up and tell some stories about, kind of Carolyn. I know her brothers had some stories to tell, and they're not quite done right yet. I have one more I could tell. About 7 years ago, started tearing up the linoleum in my bathroom because I had a soft spot in the. I thought, oh, this is a fairly short project, taking about a month. Carolyn came over and looked and said, I think you should take out that shower, make that part of the master closet, and put a big shower over here where this garden tub is. And came up with this grand plan. Instead of being a short project, took me 3 years to put her vision together.
But she was,
Also, an architect, we didn't know it. Who knew?
new, so, or designing.
Do you have any stories you'd like to tell? No?
Open the big.
Yeah, that's it, Chris.
I don't know if I'm prepared. I didn't know who else to go first.
I can do it.
No pressure.
Okay. You got something.
Oh, wait.
No. We have a school of me, so some people are
Oh.
50.
Yes, okay,
That's
okay, good. My name is Jamie. I grew up with Carolyn, since elementary school, and, my most favorite memory, that I mentioned, last weekend also is, we both share the love of the Backstreet Boys, big time fans. And I loved them so much back in the day. I mean, I know she had an entire collage of Backstreet Boys all over her room. We've got pictures posing in front of it. And her mom took us to the airport because we actually found out they were going to be, what time they were going to be landing and where. And scary enough, back then, you could actually just walk through security and go straight to the gate, which is insane to think of now. But here we were, two little middle schoolers waiting at the gate like, is this really happening? No one else is here. It's like 5:30 in the morning. And we're thinking, okay, I guess they're supposed to just walk through this gate. And sure enough, doors open. The first one out is Nick Carter holding a basketball. And I'm like, this is actually really happening. It was the coolest memory, and something that we still even reminisce on, not even, but a couple months ago, when we found out they were coming to Vegas. And so we were like, wouldn't that be cool, you know, to get there? But yeah, that's my favorite memory. Carolyn had the biggest smile. And she will definitely be missed. I'm sad to say we hadn't seen each other in quite some time, but she was very good at keeping in touch and making sure we still had that connection. So
Thank you, Katie. That's one of my favorite teenage memories.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'd like to add
Great.
to Jamie's story. That was such a fun day. And the only problem was the girls had no concert tickets. So Plan B was hatched later on in the day after much begging and pleading from Carolyn. Mom, please, can we just go there and see if we can get some tickets from scalpers? And I'm like, oh, that'll never happen. Forget it. And finally they wore me down, or Carolyn did anyway. And so we went to the venue, the concert venue, and no scalpers to be had anywhere. And we kept circling around the venue, and I said, I'm sorry, girls, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then lo and behold, a car drives past us slowly, parks, a woman gets out, and I unroll my window and I said, excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me where I can find somebody scalping tickets? And she said, how many you need? I said, 3. She reaches into her pocket. She hands me 3 tickets. And I said, God? I was like, really? Like, really? And the girls they were jumping up and down. They just couldn't believe their good luck. So that was the end of Jamie's story. It had a very happy ending. And you'll probably be hearing some Backstreet Boys today. So Backstreet Boys are back, Jamie. Okay, Bobby.
For someone else? I can just share the story.
Absolutely.
A few years ago, Carol moved into a nice apartment on 7th Street. And helped her get moved in there, an upstairs place with a nice deck in the back. And she calls me up and says, I'm thinking about buying a pergola for the back deck. Can you help me put it together? I said, well, sure. So I picked up, ladder and cordless drill, went over and helped her put the thing together, which gave her a nice shaded spot, keep her out of the rain. She could sit out on the back deck. And she had to move out of that place a year and a half ago. They had it for sale, but the pergola is still there, so we must have bolted right. Had it strapped down into the deck very nicely, and she was very happy about that.
She loved that. You did beautiful.
He did love the pergola. Now, there were several times we went to the Renaissance Fair with Carolyn, and one of their mother wore these flower garland head pieces every time we went. We have hanging on a big poster back here. I remember one time when we were there, they had this big trampoline thing that you put a strap on. It was a combination bungee jump trampoline. And she was going 50 feet in the air with this big smile on her face, which is kind of like the whole skydiving thing. But I think that was the first time I went to the Renaissance Fair.
Oh, okay.
Was that my story?
Okay. So here's the origins of Carolyn's skydiving, love of skydiving. Carolyn's friend Lori decided for her, I believe it was her 22nd birthday in June, to go skydiving. And she had a whole host of friends who were eager to join her. Yet as the week wore on, getting closer to Lori's birthday jump, one by one, they all chickened out. And so it ended up just being Carolyn, Lori, and I. So I'm like, okay, I'll just watch you girls from here, have fun. And then the more I thought about it, the old bucket list, I thought, I don't know. Since I kind of felt bad for Lori since nobody else came. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it too. But then once I got up in that rickety old plane, I was kind of having second thoughts, but it was too late. But anyway, Carolyn, that started a love of skydiving from my adventure-seeking daughter. She loved thrills, and she got up skydiving. So,
Hey, Bobby.
So is there anybody else that has good stories they'd like to tell?
We're waiting on Kate.
What's that?
We're waiting on Kate. She would love to say something, but she's in LA.
Yeah, her cousin Kate
It'll have to be a little later.
had several stories.
Can she do it on Zoom?
Oh, she's 3 hours behind us, so she's not.
Oh, that's
For those of you that are watching it on Google Meets, we will have a recording, and for those of you who didn't get to watch it. If the camera view of the slideshow is kind of washed out, you can watch the whole slideshow on the website, forevermiss.com. I guess we'll keep the microphone open and the slideshow going, play a little bit of music, and everybody can grab a bite to eat and mingle a little. And if somebody wants to get up and tell a story, they can do that. I know it's sometimes it's a little rough to get up and talk about somebody that's passed away, but we'd be happy to have anybody come up and say something. So,
Hey, Bob.
yeah.
You bring us here.
Oh, sure. Turn the mic on, Jim.
Thanks, Bob. I'm Jim Reynolds, Carolyn's stepdad. I just want to say a few things about Carolyn and the life we shared together. It was a bit summer 1990 when I first met Carolyn. She was only 6 years old when I started dating her mom. She was the sweetest little girl, and she remained such. She really enjoyed life, and she remained that way for the next 8 years. She really had a good childhood, very happy. Had great role models in her mom, Carol, and her grandparents, especially Grandma Doris Cregan. But when Carolyn became a teenager, things got a little more complicated, as it does for a lot of teenage girls. She had some challenges, and she found herself out on her own at 18. But she regrouped. She made a nice turnaround in her 20s. She learned to live independently. She was financially responsible and took on many jobs where she was very successful. The one that comes to mind is of her last job, is her career towards the end. She was a great inside salesperson. She really enjoyed her friends, Lori, Mikey, Lindsay, Jamie, and many others. As mentioned before, she had a great love for skydiving. And she loved her pets. She had 2 dogs, Charlie, she may have seen in the picture, and later on, Gracie, who's still with us. And then she went on and got married. The life for Carolyn was a little bit complicated, filled with many highs and lows, but she just went on living her life as best she could. When she reached her 30s, we became a little closer because we also had a dog, our family dog named Carly, and Carolyn would watch my dog when I went out of town on vacation or had to travel for work. At that point, our relationship grew, and I was no longer called Jim, the stepdad. She just called me Dad, and that was very special to me. We just lost her way too young at age 41, and I just like to say, may she rest in peace, and may the good memories last forever. Thank you.
No, I don't really. I'm Martha Cregan. I'm Karen's wife. Carolyn was my niece. I don't really want to come up there because I don't like speaking in public, but I was so shocked and sad to see her passing. She's a great soul, so, you know, she knew how to have a good time. Can't have all the time. That's just not how it is. So, I wanted to just read a poem. I have this poem handy because my sister passed away about 3 months ago, and she also passed suddenly at 55. And it's so hard to live for all of us, you know, it takes some time to process this whole thing.
and I love the music. I love the great stories. So I just wanted to just contribute. It's called like Great Trees Fall on My End. So give me just a minute. Yes. I want to spend this. Such a beautiful photo. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder, lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber out to sea. When great trees fall in forests, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, settled. Sorry. We breathe briefly, our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory suddenly sharpens, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised ones, never taken. Great souls die, and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold pain. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Space is filled with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whisper to us. They existed. They existed. We can be and be better, where she existed.
I'm trying to hold the mic a little closer so people can hear. I don't have a speech prepared by any means, but I definitely wanted to at least make mention of how important it is, or how meaningful it is that all of you were able to make it today. And then we had some people that were coming from far away and might not be able to make the trip. So I know it means a lot to Carolyn that you're here. And I don't know if I'm much of a storyteller, but I will say that that Carolyn definitely had a good taste in movies. Remember one time we went to with Grandma and Granddad, we went to the theater, and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective was among the choices. And I to this day I can't remember what we actually saw that day, but she wanted to see Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. And I said, Pet Detective, it sounds really stupid. Like, why would we want to see a pet detective movie? And obviously, I had no idea what that movie was about. Now, at the time, you were probably a little too young to get half of the jokes in the film, but it turned out to be quite a classic film. So, and again, to this day, all I can remember about that date is the film we didn't see, because I didn't want to see it. But obviously, she had it right. That was the film we should have watched, even though we wouldn't have gotten it. But years later, we over time we got the film. It's an amazing film. Probably, I don't know how many fans of Ace Ventura there are in the crowd, but the film definitely, I mean, it's, you know, got some terrible jokes in it, but I mean, it's a really funny film even today. I think it still holds true. I'd watch it probably after this if I had the time, and I'd probably still enjoy it. But anyways, I hope that if anybody else is inspired to maybe say a couple things about Carolyn, because again, this is I don't think we're going to be doing this event after today, and I didn't say anything last week at her friends get together, and felt kind of bad about that, so I just wanted to make that up today by saying a few words. But I'm sure Carolyn is very happy to see all the people that have showed up, and for the people that couldn't be here, I'm sure their thoughts are with her and everyone here. So thank you so much. Is there an MC? Bobby, the MC?
I guess.
It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it.
I just wanted to mention, my daughter Colleen, showed up in one of these pictures, and she was like 6 years younger, is like 6 years younger than Carolyn. And there was like the trifecta of Carolyn, Katie, and Larissa. And whenever we had reunions, the three girls would get together and do their, whatever they did, causing trouble or whatever it was. But Colleen always just looked up to them so much. She just wanted to be just like them. She wanted to be part of the group. So eventually, as adults, they ended up, I know for a long time, they kept in touch with a text chain and stuff like that, and they kept up with each other. I think that kind of fell apart at some point, but it just meant so much to her to have, Carolyn is an older cousin and the other girls cousins, because she has two brothers. She didn't really know how to hang around with girls or relate to sisters, but it was a big deal. So just one small contribution Carolyn made to her family of millions of others. So just wanted to do that. Thank you.
We're gonna just switch back for a second to a song. Again, feel free to mill around and help yourselves to food and whatever.
Ready to one true time, I don't want in my will.
Roast beef is good.
Anybody wants to talk at any time, come on up. If not, listen to the music and enjoy.
What are you doing here? Yes, I know, but I know.
Yeah, I kind of came in just to figure things start. Yes, I know. I know. I just thought, you know, I wish they made it really fast. Then when they just sit,
We're gonna leave the microphone. Yeah, if somebody comes up and checks out your soul, it's set on the video.
you go watch more Operation.
Okay.
I want you to meet Laura. This is my friend Laura Gabriel. This is my husband Samuel. Oh, are you in Raleigh? Later. Once I retired, I think
All right.
Yes. She wants me to do it. Well, I did realize, but that was. I didn't have. Where's Kathy? Where's Kathy Whelan?
She's over there by you.
Did you get some food?
Not yet. I was just gonna say, we have a soccer game right now, so I was like, I wanted to come and then. Oh, it's so good to see you. And Carolyn told me all about your beautiful little boy.
And he's like 7 now?
Really?
Is he here?
Yeah.
All right, let me just make sure.
Okay.
So wait, 1 second. No problem.
I've seen pictures of you on Facebook.
Well, if I could just ask the-
Shadow in the dark cloud of the most the hearts that darkness. Raised by me. How last week, Christmas.